choice. One of the best entertainment channel. What are the 10 best cities to study in the world? Welcome to the next best city to study. Melbourne, Australia, is one of the best university.
When it comes to studying in Australia, Melbourne is one of the best cities to consider, be it at undergraduate or master's level. However, as an international student looking to study law, for example, it is important to research the best law schools in Melbourne before applying. Melbourne is the capital of the state of Victoria and has one with a population of 4.9 million. It is the second largest city in Australia. It is considered a great place to live based on its clean environment, cost of living and quality of accommodation and education. When it comes to education, Melbourne is the best student city in Australia. The city scored highest in economic stability, health, culture and environment, education and infrastructure. When you study in Melbourne, you'll be living in a safe and vibrant city that offers the widest range of world-class study options, services and things to do. Why study in Melbourne? Melbourne is home to world-class universities and institutions, as cited numerous times in various international university rankings. A student seeking a quality education will benefit from a high-quality education and a wide variety of quality course choices. Also, Melbourne is one of them. The world's most livable city for the 6th time in a row. Furthermore, studying in Melbourne will expose you to a wide network of people from a diversity of cultures. Home to international students from over 200 countries, Melbourne's friendly atmosphere encourages international students to make friends and make the most of their stay in Melbourne. Another great advantage of being a student in Melbourne is that you are not limited to getting help at the university. Victoria's local government, non-government organizations, and charities also provide support to international students in work, health, study, sport and many other areas. It's also worth noting that the qualifications of Melbourne's educational institutions are globally recognized, meaning a degree from any Melbourne university will help you find work in almost any country. Melbourne's world-leading universities are equipped with state-of-the-art facilities, internationally experienced faculty, and excellent student services. These universities also provide an opportunity for their students to make their mark in leading research and innovation facilities. As a result, Melbourne has several excellent law schools. What are the best programs to study in Melbourne? You may be attracted by the idea of studying in Melbourne with all the listed benefits. However, you may be wondering which programs are best to study in Melbourne. So, let's talk about the best programs to study in Melbourne. Melbourne is known as one of the best places in Australia with the best undergraduate and postgraduate programs. For the most part, if you are an international student with a language other than English, Melbourne is the best place to study English. Most universities in Melbourne offer it as a second language, ESL, program. Additionally, most colleges in Melbourne, also known as Victorian colleges, also offer an internationally recognized high school qualification, the International Baccalaureate. Another top program worth studying in Melbourne is law. Law is an important career choice for many students. It is a program that requires dedication, hard work, and the best law schools in Melbourne to ensure that no student is left behind. However, you're in luck because the city is partly responsible for providing the most rigorous curriculum Melbourne law schools can offer. Other ingredients you may need to succeed in law are your passion and hard work. How many universities are there in Melbourne? Melbourne has more than 7 universities, with more than 34 campuses. Melbourne's universities educate a total of 277,000 students, including 91,000 from overseas. Therefore, 34 of the 51 campuses on the state list are in the Melbourne metropolitan area. 5 Australian universities outside of Victoria have campuses in the state. If you are a prospective student looking to study at any of the law schools in Melbourne, you will be delighted with the urban setting and nightlife of most law schools in Melbourne. What is the average cost of studying law in Melbourne? The cost of studying in law schools in Melbourne is almost the same as studying in Australia. The average cost of studying at any of the prestigious law schools in Melbourne is $25,000 to $40,000 per year on tuition fees alone. Generally, programs offered by law schools in Melbourne last for about 3 years. So, taking this into account, the estimated tuition cost of studying at any of the law schools in Melbourne for the entire program would be between $75,000 to $120,000. However, this estimate does not include food and lodging expenses. Taking all these things into consideration, it can be safe to say that an entire undergraduate degree program at any of the top law schools in Melbourne will cost between $250,000 and $300,000, which is the typical cost of studying for most undergraduate degrees from top universities in Melbourne. The first law school in Melbourne that we are recommending is the University of Melbourne. It wasn't even for competition. If you want to get into the best law school in Melbourne, and arguably Australia, then this is the law school for you. Established in 1853, the University of Melbourne, Melbourne UNI, is the second oldest university in Australia and has the most famous law school in Melbourne. The University of Melbourne is a public research university located in Melbourne, Australia. There are 10 colleges on the main campus and nearby suburbs offering academic, sporting and cultural programs with accommodation for Melbourne students and faculty. The University of Melbourne is often ranked as the best university in Australia in global rankings. More than 46% of students at the University of Melbourne are international students. They also have a population of 57,000 on-campus students and 17,800 international students. This university is officially recognized by the Australian Department of Education and Training.
Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comments.